We found Sir Galahad had passed away in the night.
So we got the first round of horses just dropped off. There is one that looks like it's in pretty rough shape.
Probably put it on the day he was born and hasn't taken it off.
I bet that feels so much better without that halter on your face. When the trailer got here, there was at least 4 animals down in the trailer.
We just got a call from the sheriff. There are 3 dogs. They're living with a family that doesn't have food. It's a start to a very busy week, and we came in this morning. We found Sir Galahad had passed away in the night. He was a pretty old horse, and I know Dr. Lydia was really concerned. We were trying different things with him, and we found him this morning, and it doesn't look like he struggled at all, really. He just passed away, and I think he just was on his terms and his time, and Dr. Lee was going to try to do some different things, but he really didn't have teeth that were much left in the x-rays. There just wasn't much roots left, and he had a lot of complications, and we were trying everything we could. He's gone now, but I'm just thankful that we were able to rescue him, and that he had definitely a good time here. He made horse friends, and he got attached to a lot of our staff, and it's just really sad, but it's also a relief knowing that he didn't continue down the slaughter pipeline. We were able to intercept him, and one last place to call his home.
I'm out here at Horse Plus today. Sadly, Sir Galahad, our sweet older gelding, passed overnight last night. He had a lot of known medical issues. We knew he had some teeth problems, but since getting here, despite getting massive amounts of complete senior feed mash multiple times a day, he hadn't gained weight. So he was already on our radar for having some kind of a systemic problem. It doesn't look like there was any struggle. It looks like he just laid down and passed peacefully, which is a blessing, but I'm hoping that we can get some answers today. When we do a necropsy is an autopsy for animals, so we start by examining the body externally, and then we go through and we examine all body systems. The central nervous system usually is kind of a limited examination because that takes a really long time, but I'm hoping that we'll get some answers either in the chest or the abdomen for why he passed.
We're not going to show the whole necropsy in this channel, but if you want to watch more, you can go to Horse Plus Vets.
Okay, so we just finished completing Sir Galahad's necropsy to look at changes to try to determine why he died, and we did get a definitive answer. He had very chronic, so probably at least a year, lung infections with some associated masses and some pockets of infection in those lungs that were so walled off that the antibiotics we were giving him likely couldn't penetrate to that area. So he had some other changes that were commonly seen in older horses, especially older horses that may not have had the care that they needed throughout their life. But unfortunately, his cause of death was likely those necrotic lung lesions.
We are fishing to go make a real good attempt at catching Black Beauty to get him moved down here a little closer to where we can start desensitizing him and working with him. All right, we have now got Black Beauty moved from soft quarantine to his permanent pasture to where we can get him on a training regimen and see where we can get him to.
We are up in quarantine, and there are new horses coming today, so we are bringing down the ones that were already up here, and before they come down, they're going to get some boosters. Okay, still needs strangles. Hopefully this makes her head go up and not down. No, come on. She mad, she mad. There we go. Perfect, thank you. We got you. Sorry, my hands don't work very well. This is Louisa. So it is extremely cold and windy up here. All my stuff is blowing off the table and my hands are so cold I can't really do anything. So in order to speed this process up, I'm gonna take everything down with me and get all the vaccines like ready in their syringes in the treatment room where it's climate controlled. And then we're gonna get the boys back up in here and then do them. We have the first load of horses already on their way, and they're gonna be here in like about 30 minutes. So, and we have 5 more horses left that we have to booster. So we're really trying to like get things done as fast as possible. All of the vaccines are all pulled up and ready. So now all we have to do is run them through the chute, check their temps, and then run them back down, and hopefully we get everything done on time. This is Bowie. He is also one of the wild babies. In my opinion, he's the best wild baby. He seems to be a little bit more sane, and he thinks about his decisions sometimes. The other ones just don't know much. He doesn't know much either, but he seems to know maybe a little bit more.
So we got the first round of horses just dropped off. There is one that looks like it's in pretty rough shape. Kimberly's gonna pull it out and take a video of it and send it over to Dr. Lydia to get her opinion. Everybody else that we got in this group, they look like they're in pretty decent shape, but we'll know more once we pull them out and kind of look each one over individually. So we just got the last load dropped off. That puts our total today at 21 horses that we were able to get in our buyout program, and these are horses that we have directly taken out of the slaughter pipeline. And I think that's great. I think we have more horses coming this week, but right now this is what we have. So we do have one horse that is in pretty rough condition. Troy's actually taking that right now so we can get a video of it moving around so we can send to Dr. Lydia to see what the best option is for this horse.
She's obviously very, very painful. She's walking around just taking turns holding up both of her hind legs. We did send video to Dr. Lydia, and she agreed that the last act of kindness is the best option for this poor sweet girl. She's probably been in pain for a really long time, so we're going to do that for her today. Unfortunately, no one made the decision before when they probably should have, but we're gonna do that for her today.
His knees are not right.
Okay.
You're so cute. Oh, I bet that feels so much better without that halter on your face and you got the itchy spots going on there. Yeah. It's a little indented. It's not bad. I mean, if he would have gotten it a couple months with that halter on his face, it probably would be like Hiawassee kind of situation.
Probably put it on the day he was born and hasn't taken it off.
All right, send them out.
Go ahead, buddy. Go to your mama.
And then take her halter off when you let her out. This is so cold. My hands are gonna be frozen. It's really hard to work with gloves when you're handling horses and you're taking pictures and typing. It's just rough in the wintertime. That's why we need a climate-controlled intake barn. Oh. He's so amazing.
It's 40 degrees right now, but the wind is making it feel like it's 34 degrees.
The wind chill is like really rough. Because every winter, it's terrible.
Right now, we're just doing the initial intake pictures for these animals. We're figuring out how old they are, estimated age. We're figuring out if they're male, female, intact, gelded. And we're also watching for anything that might potentially be wrong with them. That way we can record it and have the vet take a look. But it's going all right so far. I think we got 2 stallions back there and they've been kind of acting like punks. So we got to figure out if they're actually stallions or not. And we want to make sure that we separate out accordingly. I'm going to check for testicles because he was showing some stallion behavior back there, fighting with another potential stallion that we have. So we're gonna check. Go ahead and squeeze him. No, he's got gelding scars. They're fresh gelding scars. He's got fresh gelding scars. We're gonna keep him separate, just in case he was recently gelded. He still has any sperm floating around in there. He can't potentially get any of the mares here pregnant. And we'll also have a vet double check to make sure. We are not veterinarians. We cannot make these diagnostics. I can't say whether or not this is a stallion or gelding. I could just say what I feel.
So this is a young thoroughbred. Let me grab a picture, hold on. The microchip thoroughbreds basically start after traders and kill buyers start burning the tattoos out of their lips. So we'll be able to track and see who this horse is. It's a very young thoroughbred. DSLD, severe DSLD.
Oh, and was her like stifles popping too or something? They were really bad. Like I could feel that through the ground.
Good girl. So we got all the boys separated from the girls because there ended up being 2 stallions in that group of 2 mature stallions. There's probably some youngsters that are still intact, but we got them separated. The boys are gonna be by themselves now. We're gonna put the other group that's here all back together. There's issues I see with some of these horses, but there was that one at the very beginning that was really critical. We took care of him. We gave him the last act of kindness. Dr. Lydia said it was the right decision. And there's some navicular looking issues like walking, and there's some neurological issues, but it's just too cold to dive more into it today. So we're gonna get them settled down for the night, and day 2 of buyout, we have another 20 horses coming in tomorrow.
So a few months ago, we had 2 dogs brought to us with quite an interesting story. They have loving families, a mom, a dad, and a bunch of children that love them. They came in with microchips. They were completely vetted. Their story was a little interesting. So it was a normal day. The dogs were out and about, running around. Later on that day, these people's neighbor found that their feral outdoor cat had been killed. The only evidence that they had was that the dogs had been on the property at some point that morning, and then the cat was found later on that evening, from what I understand. They took the owners of these 2 dogs to court and had the judge take the dogs from them. So Belle, a Brendel pit mix, me and Corey watched her, and then Zeus, he's a beautiful German Shepherd, Troy watched him. So we have been waiting for today. The owners went to court. The judge allowed them to have their dogs back, which we knew they would. The neighbor had no evidence that it was their dogs that had done it. Both dogs have been around cats since they came into our homes and showed no signs of being aggressive to cats in any way. I am super, super excited that Belle and Zeus get to have their family back because they are very, very well-loved dogs.
You go home and be the best Christmas present ever. And yes. We are going to be giving Winter some subcutaneous fluids to see if that'll help her perk up, because she's not feeling the greatest with having to take care of her babies. Her body's more worried about them versus her.
She is extremely underweight, and she hasn't been drinking water very well. And so nursing babies, she has to produce a lot of fluids in her milk to sustain them. And so we want to just give her a little boost. This will help her feel a lot better. And a lot of times when you rehydrate them this way, then it'll make them also want to drink. And so over the next couple of hours, that'll absorb into her body and rehydrate her. It looks a little funny right now, and sometimes they don't like how it flops around on their neck, but she should be feeling better soon, hopefully.
Today we have brought Pebbles down to the training barn, and we're going to be working her to see where we need to go from this point on. And hopefully she knows more than what we think. So we're going to find out. Well, you can't pick your head all the way up there. I'll never get it over there. I'm gonna need you down here. Oh, goodness. Oh, we got that piece. I don't know. We ain't getting that piece. That just ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen, big girl. Good Lord, you're a long way up there. Oh. All right, well, good news is we didn't hit the ground. She does ride. You can tell she ain't been rode in a while. I think if we ride her pretty steady, I believe she'll come back around and she'll make somebody a decent horse. We'll just keep working with her and we'll see where we get her to. Was that a lot of work? Huh? Was that a lot of work?
So we are on day 2 of our buyout program, and we have 20 horses being delivered today. That's at least how much we know we're getting. We might be getting a little bit more periodically throughout the day. But right now we're just waiting on the first trailer to pull up here so we can get their horses unloaded. So we got our first load of horses just dropped off. It looks like there's a few that are in pretty rough shape. So we're gonna go ahead and regroup. We're gonna get pictures taken of every single one of them, and we're gonna figure out what each one needs.
Stallions, when they greet each other, are very loud and very vocal, and that's totally normal. They weren't mad at each other. They weren't trying to like hurt each other. They were just communicating as stallions go, and a lot of people don't hear that. That might have been the first time you heard stallions greeting each other and talking, and it's just the way stallions communicate. They're very big, powerful animals, and they've got a loud voice that can go along with it when they choose to use it. 2 black ones are getting along really well, so we're just going to temporarily put them in this stall. We're going to put the other one over here because we have to bring all these horses back through to do their quick initial intake. It's really cold. Next week is going to be much warmer, so we're going to do their intakes after Christmas. Pull out any that we see are really critical so we can talk to Dr. Lydia about it, and then get photos of them and go from there. But in order to do that, we have to get all the stallions away from the girls.
He's okay.
How are you? You doing good? We got your baby.
So we just did a walkthrough and figured out horses that were critical from the last group, or where we're concerned about. They're not really like critical like some of the ones that come off the trailer, but like we're concerned. We see medical problems. Like he's standing here with his legs crossed, like he's very neurological acting. The bay horse over there, like standing like its pastern is almost on the ground, fetlock area. Instead of standing on the bones properly, it's just flopping back, and it causes a ton of problems and chronic pain and all kinds of issues. So we're really concerned about that one. Really concerned about this one. Like horses should not stand with their legs crossed, and if we pulled his tail, we could probably pull him over. We like to use this pen to put more critical horses in. They have hay, shelter, food, water, and then it's very easy for Dr. Lydia to drive over and look at them and figure it out. And soon, just a couple weeks, we will have 2 vets here full time, which is going to be such an amazing blessing because we can get to the issues of these babies faster, know what's going on, and if they are suffering, relieve their suffering sooner. I think we're gonna go eat lunch and then hope and pray it warms up just a little bit more, and then we'll finish the intake that we're doing. Everyone is really calm, peaceful eating, so I think they'll be fine for us to eat lunch and then come up. It was really busy while the 20 horses were getting here, but we did have one of the agencies we work with stop by, and they donated some dog food and then also blankets, like dog bed blankets type thing. Like these are really great to put in the dogs' areas, and they can lay and chew on them and destroy them if they want. But we got a whole bunch of brand new blankets, so very grateful for the donation. And it's always great. It's always very, very busy here. Like there's no way our media team can capture everything because like while we're off doing this, all of this is happening, but we try to show you as much as we can. But every week is crazy, very busy, jam-packed, and it's all about helping as many animals as we can.
Hi, Angela.
Hey, it's amazing how much help I get when I bring pizza.
So what's going on?
So we had an amazing donor who donated pizza for our auction intake. So I went and got pizza, and Corey is over here helping me out because, you know, when you bring pizza, it draws a crowd, right?
All right, so what's everybody else eating?
Haha, very funny.
So we had an awesome donor, Sissel. I hope I'm saying your name right, Sissel, Sissel, who donated pizza for auction intake. And we just want to tell you so much thank you for the pizza. I was able to get some chips and some vegan cheese for my vegan friends here. So thank you so much, Sissel, for your donation to get pizza.
All right, so everybody is back from lunch, and we are all ready to head back up there to finish up the triage, figure out who needs what, and get them all into their pastures for the night.
This horse, Corey thought that maybe he had like a broken hip. When horses have broken hips, like one side of their hip is basically their top line area is more sunken, and his is, but looking down by his hock, just this huge massive swelling. So it's probably just an old fracture or something that he's been living with, and he's not using that side of his body. And what's interesting is he has shoes on. So some of these horses that come through it just boggles my mind, like how and why did they end up like that? But it looks like he's been like that for quite a while, especially have his muscles like that. So I don't know. But no matter what their history is, we're here to help them. At first we thought one of the draft horses had the major problems with the big and large leg. And then when the other draft horse came through, we noticed she was standing very uncomfortably. And as we got our hands on her, we could feel things that weren't right. So she's going in the pen so we can get her evaluated by the vet and see what's going on. So as we're taking photos, I'm uploading them into our chat employee group, and then we're getting them uploaded onto Facebook and everything on the other end of this. Horses that we know need medical attention more promptly, like we're sending pictures and videos to Dr. Lydia, but we're trying to kind of triage, segregate at this point. So horses that we're seeing issues, they're going in one pen, so those are priority for the next vet visit. Look at how cute you are. Needs to be called Trace, because she's got like 3 little like splotches on her face. We possibly have like 7 more horses coming in, but we've gotten through the first 40. Now we're going to be moving them into their different pens where they'll hang out over Christmas. We have to do some interesting maneuvers because we have 4 mature stallions who think the girls are something else. So we're going to move this group down into a pasture pen, and then we're going to sort out the horses we're concerned about in the next pen over from the 20 from yesterday and get them moved, and then we're going to bring the stallions through. And anyways, we've got it figured out, and hopefully the horses go along with our plan. It's been a long, busy day of intakes, but we're finally wrapping down for the night. We did have to say goodbye to some of the horses that were very, very painful, and there's still a large group that we really need to have Dr. Lydia here to make decisions on them. Dr. Lydia's been absolutely great over the phone, watching the videos and pictures, and some of these horses, it's so obvious. It's just they need the gift of being pain-free. Supposedly there might be 8 more horses coming in, but we don't know. We'll figure it all out in the morning. It'll probably be Keith and Angela and us here after hours, but who knows? We'll see. But just want to thank everyone so much for their support, and we are only halfway through this incredibly busy week.
So we have a shelter transfer to Darlin Farms Rescue and Rehab, and we are transferring Sterling, Rumble, and Midnight Star. So we're pretty happy that we're able to transfer these guys out. This will be, I believe, our second transfer to Darlin Rescue and Rehab, and I believe they have adopted out every single animal that we transferred to them last time. So that is awesome.
We have an adopter coming out today to look at a few of the puppies that we have, and hopefully, if all goes well, one of our puppies will get adopted today.
Now be forewarned, the black one, very hyper. So we're thinking, just from his wounds, he was attacked by another dog. So he has, it's healed, he's had antibiotics and stuff, but he has a hole in his mouth, a cut in his tongue, and he's still healing some wounds on his neck.
You know, if you can't make the decision, you can always come back.
Oh no, I'm gonna make a decision today because I'm tired of going in my bedroom and looking at my bed and there's nothing there and nothing, it's just, I'm having a hard time with that. I want both of them, and I can't have both of them, but I'm coming to get that one, and I'm going to get that one.
Which one? That one?
The brown one. I love you too. If you'll give me a minute, we'll be buddies. Yes, we'll be buddies. It's saying, new puppy's getting a new loving home.
So she's adopting Rory.
Yes. I come to adopt a puppy. I was hoping to, and I have adopted a puppy. So it's coming to my home. And I'm so proud. Everybody here has been wonderful. And it's a very nice place. It's a beautiful place. It's awesome that y'all are doing this for animals. But I'll be sure to keep you updated on him and bring him by so you can see him.
Oh, look at that.
And you're a girl.
So are you. A very nice lady who has brought us a few dogs before brought us 12 little 5-week-old puppies who are extremely cute. Look at the tail. They are at that age where they're fun and they play, but they're still small enough that people want to adopt them. Oh, look how cute. I'm so excited.
Name him Pongo.
I don't know. Now we have to name 12 puppies.
Good boy. Like this one. Look like
Wrinkles, Tawny. Wrinkles.
You can kind of look in through this door and I was like, there's laundry baskets. I'm like, did somebody bring us laundry baskets of little critters? And sure enough, yes. But in this county, puppies get dumped on back roads all the time. Like it's really horrendous what happens. So I'm just really thankful as an open admission shelter, we're able to take these animals and help get them homes. You know, a lot of times we're able to get them in and we can have them transferred out the next day. So they are very, very stinking cute.
We're getting ready to microchip all the babies and take photos and maybe put collars so we know at least who the black ones are.
All these 12 little balls of cuteness are all microchipped now, and I got their photos so we can get them put into our records. This is a lot of microchips to give a bunch of little puppies. None of them squealed, so hopefully I did okay, and it was fast and semi-painless.
We are setting up the stall for the babies so that they stay nice and warm because it is quite chilly outside. So we want to make sure that even though they are chunky and healthy, that they stay warm. It's because, you know, they're babies.
It's festive. Christmas toys. So we have all 12 puppies settled in their stall. Me and Emily have given them some wet dog food, some cozy blankets, and all the Christmas toys their hearts could ever want. And water, of course, but hopefully they'll settle in good, and then tomorrow we will probably deworm them. They do look to be about 5 weeks old, should be 6 soon. We'll kind of assess how old we think they are. We may have to wait a week before we can do anything with them.
This is one of the horses that came in through the buyout. We had a group of horses come in the night. But this horse is our top priority. This horse has been suffering for quite some time. Blind in both eyes, completely blind and lame. Dr. Lydia has said that humane euthanasia is going to be the best option, so we are going to give this horse the last act of kindness and relieve its constant suffering. Its eyeball, when it chews, actually pops back and forth. Dr. Lydia says basically as the eye dissolved, it probably attached to some muscles, and that's when it's chewing, it's actually like bulging back and forth or popping back and forth. I don't think I've ever seen an eyeball do this before, but we're gonna get this horse more comfortable and I'm just thankful it found its way to us. It also has some back problems as well. Just a really sad situation.
We're up in quarantine getting ready for the next group of buyout horses to come up here. We have to shuffle things around a little bit, so we're gonna move some horses down into a pasture to make room to bring in the new ones.
So when the trailer got here, there was at least 4 animals down in the trailer. There's some that are in pretty rough shape that will more than likely need the last act of kindness. This little mini right here behind me was actually underneath of another horse, being pretty much crushed. And she's got blood coming out of both of her nostrils. That was pretty rough. So we're gonna figure out who needs what and go from there.
We just got the last 10 horses in the buyout for this month. This group of horses were, there's like 10 that were packed into, I think it was like a 3-horse trailer. And several of them were down in the trailer. It's a really sad situation.
We just got 10 more horses in. We're about ready to do their initial assessment. They're pretty rough. We were first originally told from the Amish guy that he was going to bring us 4 horses and 4 donkeys, and it appears that he has gone to the auction and purchased more horses and brought them to us. So the trailer was definitely not how we would want animals to be hauled, but they are here now, they're safe, and we're gonna get going and do their intake. So when she walked in here, like she was walking a little weird. It looked like maybe something wrong with her back end, but then like she just collapsed and fell. It's really hard to say all the different reasons horses end up in the slaughter pipeline. And I think because we are taking more horses that traders would be taking to auctions and really intercepting horses that the traders are, these horses are truly in the slaughter pipeline going from auction to auction. And in this group of 57 horses, I do believe, huge amount of horses to intercept out of the slaughter pipeline, that we're seeing a lot of issues where owners should have been responsible for their animals. They weren't. They ended up in the slaughter pipeline, and now we're having to figure that all out with our veterinarians and what's the best option for each and every horse. But we're seeing a lot of really weird issues in this group. Her shoulder, just like, this should not, your shoulder should not pop out of your body like this when you're a horse. And I can put my hand all the way back there, like her shoulder's just like churned outward. So this little guy's got kind of a bad back leg when he walks. Okay, yes, you've got stuff under there. It feels like he's got like maybe an old broken hip. When I was lobbying in Washington, D.C., I learned about a law they're trying to get introduced, and it's a very, very important law. It's the first time I heard about the law, and I hadn't really researched it, but I was like, if it's helping donkeys, I'm going to promote it because it was a law to prevent them from being slaughtered, and I'm all behind that. Basically what it is, and this is happening around the world, and in some countries, like the villagers' donkeys are being stolen just for this purpose. But they take the donkeys, they will slaughter them basically just for their hides, and they scrape their hide down and get a protein. Donkeys are sent through the slaughter pipeline by the hundreds, and now there's a huge demand for donkey gelatin, basically. And donkeys are being purchased shipped to Mexico. It's happening down there. They're harvesting their hides and getting this gelatin protein out of their hides. And then it's shipped over to Asian countries. And then this is where it really hit me. It was like, if the law is passed in, the United States, how is that going to affect, these donkeys that are getting butchered in all these other countries? Well, if you go onto Amazon and put in donkey gelatin, you can buy it off of Amazon. And these were all from butchered donkeys. And this is protein from their hides. Aejo? Aejo?
Aejo? I don't know.
So it's the IAO Act, and it's to prevent this from happening. And I feel very passionate. The more I research it, I'm just like, ugh. So like if we just put that word in on Amazon, this is all products that you can buy in the United States. And it's, these are from other countries. So these donkeys that are in these products, they could have been from Africa, stolen from villages. This law definitely needs to pass because donkeys are really suffering. And not only the donkeys, but in other countries, the villagers where their donkeys are being stolen. So we need to get it outlawed here in the United States for sure. So donkeys aren't exported out of the country to be butchered for this. And it shouldn't be sold on Amazon. This donkey's in a really rough, if you watch his breathing, he is struggling to breathe, and we see this in donkeys a lot that are in the slaughter pipeline and auctions. They pick up a disease, their lungs fill with pus. They can be fine in the morning and they can look like this and in 2 hours be dead. And it's just horrible. Hopefully with 2 veterinarians at our facility full time, we can figure out exactly what this is that's killing donkeys in the slaughter pipeline. I've talked to rescues all the way, from the East Coast, the middle, and out west. And I've never seen it out west unless it's a donkey that came from the east. So like a shelter transfer, we had one years ago from here to Oregon, and then they got out there and they died, and they took them to the university, and they never really could figure out what was going on with them. We've done necropsies. Their lungs are just filled with pus, and you can literally squeeze the tissue and there's just pus oozing out of the lung tissue. It is horrific. Struggling to breathe is a horrible way to go. We have tried to fix these donkeys with this condition. We've given them antibiotics and all this stuff, and all it's done is prolong their suffering. And so sadly, when we see donkeys breathing like this, we know that their lungs are shutting down and we need to get them out of their suffering. So talked to Dr. Lydia and sent her videos, and she's confirmed that he does need humane euthanasia. So we will be saying goodbye to him. Dr. Lydia also confirmed that this little mini with its shoulder that's all messed up, that the last act of kindness is the kindest thing for her as well. She's very old and her body is basically just falling apart around her. This buyout was the last buyout of the year, and since August through the buyout program we were able to intercept 180 precious lives out of the slaughter pipeline, and I think that is so huge. It's always hard rescuing broken animals that need the last act of kindness, but it's always a joy when you see that there's animals that are so highly adoptable and they were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and rescuing them, and saving them out of the slaughter pipeline. They are not just going to be another number on the USDA export report. So rescue is hard, but I always think somebody's got to do this, and if nobody's doing it, that's why I'm doing it. They need a voice, they need an advocate, and it's hard to see animals in horrible conditions and see the things we do, but if we weren't helping them, it would be happening, and be happening to even more. So I'm so grateful for the 180 horses and donkeys and mules we were able to intercept, and wrapping up our last rescue mission of the year, and we're just giving her some love before we have to say goodbye. We've been going to auctions in Tennessee for nearly a decade, and one of the auctions we frequently go to, rescuing a lot of horses out of the slaughter pipeline. There was a horse that someone purchased. They took it in the back and they tried to perform a gelding operation on the horse, and unfortunately the horse had a hernia and its intestines spilled out. We ended up having to purchase that horse and having our veterinarian humanely euthanize that horse, and we started a petition, and then the auction kicked us out after they saw the petition. When the auction kicked us out, we were like, we're going to protest and we're going to do a buyout program and intercept horses right in the same town as the auction. And we had our trailers at a parking lot where we'd meet other ones. Well, that's when the state got involved, and it's been a headache, to say the least. And ultimately through it, they're like, well, you can't be going and just buying horses. So they said we had to have a dealer license, because if we're going to be buying horses, we have to have the dealer license. The way the law is written is that if you keep animals for longer than 60 days, you're exempt from the dealer license. We talked to the USDA, who's over all the dealer licenses, and they said, you're doing nothing that would fall under needing a dealer license. But we're like, well, the state wants us to get a dealer license. So we got our USDA dealer license, and we had to put up a bond, a bunch of money, and I mean, it's just crazy. So we finally got the USDA one, and the USDA has been great to work with. We finally got everything sent to the state, and today, guess what? Horse Plus Humane Society now has an official dealer license. So that is awesome news. We are approved to rescue animals. It's supposed to be purchasing animals, but the state told us we could not do basically anything off of our property if we were purchasing horses without this dealer license. Well, guess what? Now we have it. So starting next year, there's going to be a whole lot of interesting things happening where we're going to be intercepting horses and helping them in a big way. So that's really exciting. So the other really exciting thing is all of these horses we've had to hold for 60 days. So even though they're like out of quarantine, they're ready to be adopted, we've had to sit here holding them because we didn't have the dealer license. Now that we have one, now we can actually find homes. So this 60-day hold can go away. And these horses can now be available for adoption finally. We finally jumped through all the hoops the state wanted. And now instead of just sitting here and us feeding them and just waiting until we could actually find homes for them, now they're officially available, which is so exciting. The USDA is still investigating the auction, like kicking us out. And once they finish, we should be able to go back to the auction and proceed rescuing horses there as well. But we're not going to forget the buyout program at all, and we've got really exciting plans for the buyout program and helping horses in 2024. This 60-day hold has been a trial, not only for our staff and our facility and capacity and all of that, but I think I am going to send this down the shredder just to make me feel a little bit better, because holding horses for 60 days that are adoptable and people are wanting them just really stinks. So into the shredder, the 60 days is gonna go. No more 60-day holds. So we do 30 days of quarantine, and then as long as they're happy and healthy, then they can go into the adoption program. We don't have to wait for 60 days. So into the shredder. It's done. So now horses can find homes as soon as they're out of quarantine. The vet clears them for adoption. We don't have to wait 60 days because we now have our dealer license.
As the adoption specialist, I'm very happy.
So all of these horses that we have on the wall over here, we've been keeping them over here because we've had to hold them for 60 days from the time that we get them in buyout to the time that they're adopted. And thankfully, since we have our dealer's license now, all of these animals that are adoptable can go out on our adoption wall. So we're super excited for that. It does really help us to be able to adopt them out because there's only so many animals that we can feasibly care for here at one time. So the fact that they can leave now and go to wonderful homes is great for us as well as for them. Well, we got all of our available horses put out on our Looking for Love wall, and now they're ready to be adopted into loving homes and also transferred out.
We just got a call from the sheriff. There are 3 dogs. They're living with a family that doesn't have food. They were feeding them food table scraps, but now they don't even have food to feed table scraps to these dogs. So I'm really hoping the humans get help, but we've been called in to assist with the dogs, and it sounds like they're pretty skinny. So we don't really know what we're walking into, but that's the information we have. I do have the satellite phone because where we're going, there's no cell service. And so it's great that we got this satellite phone donated. Check them out here in the link on the screen or in the description of this video. And then you too can get a satellite phone because they're extremely useful. We are a little discombobulated in the fact that usually our fast rescue missions are with large animals, but these are 3 dogs. We've got the crates in the truck. We're not going to take the trailer because it's on back roads and whatnot. It's sometimes difficult to get trailers turned around. So I think we are ready to hit the road and go help these animals.
Yep.
The destination is on your left.
Hi, baby. You're a little skinny.
Baby.
Hi. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby. Hi.
Oh, they're so skinny.
So they fell on hard times. They lost their job and they were getting food stamps and they lost their food stamps.
Hey, baby. Hold on, let me get
She
photos.
said they didn't know what to do.
It's hard.
Can I pick you up? Oh, she weighs nothing.
Yeah, baby. There we go. Do you want the leashes or the collars? Okay. Sometimes that's the only thing they can keep of their animal. See, there's your brother. There's your brother.
Oh, your buddies, you get to be together.
We've just left the property and I'm going to be calling the shelter just to let them know what we have. Like when we go out on missions, we don't know a lot of times what it looks like, but there's no service in this area, so the satellite phone is really great to be able to have on rescue missions like this. Yeah, so we just picked up the dogs. They're in pretty rough condition. They're just skinny. They haven't had food. It's pretty sad. So they were owner surrendered, so we do own them. They've been signed over to us, and we're en route back. So we'll just want to make sure that we've got places ready for them once we arrive. All right, thank you so much. Satellite phones are really amazing to be able to be out where you don't have cell service and you can still communicate to people are crucial during rescue missions. And I know we were out on one call and wish we'd have had a satellite phone then, because like you couldn't get out to anybody, and a lot of times like dangerous things can happen. So having a satellite phone on rescue missions is amazing. We've got the first one settled in. We'll be getting food and water. We have to be careful how much we're giving them because they are emaciated and starved. Getting one of our nice new blankets that was donated this week for the dogs. So we're gonna get that in her crate, and then we're gonna get the other two set up. So these dogs are very skinny. The white dog, Nova, is way skinnier, I feel like.
She does her like body score too. She's easily a 1.
Yeah, she's, I would say definitely a 1. So. The dogs are here safe at the shelter. They are the white dog is very, very skinny, but they've had a little bit of food. We'll be giving them more food periodically through the day. And just when animals have been starved, their stomachs shrink, and we have to be very careful on refeeding. But thankful they're here, and I'm glad that they've got a place where they can have food in their bellies for Christmas.
So we have an adopter here. She has adopted previously, and she is interested in Aries. That is Aries.
How in the world is no one? I mean, I know she's blind, but
she is extremely broke.
She's beautiful.
I rode her down the road, and the only freak out she has when a dog came up barking at her.
Oh yeah, that would freak me out too. I don't blame her. Gosh, she's beautiful.
She really is.
Oh my God.
So she's kind of like Avalon, or Alice was. She's a little bit
difficult to catch. Yeah, that's par for the course.
But it's not as bad as she was.
Oh my God, look how cute they are.
They're pretty cute. You think you're gonna adopt them both today?
Oh, well, yeah.
All right.
Can't split them up, can we? We can't split you up, huh?
All right, we'll get your picture.
She settled right down like a good girl.
Yeah, she does. She just gets worked up at first.
Oh, they love each other.
All right.
You're gonna have a nucleation
We'll go
boyfriend.
get them tied for now, and we'll go do the paperwork.
I like it. Come on, buddy.
Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of Casper and Aries. Thank you so much for giving them a
Thank
loving
you.
home. You can go ahead and move their photos.
Oh, this is my favorite part. My name is Susanna, and I came to look at the blind horse Aries and the partially blind horse Casper. Well, I took both. So the plan for both of them will be, with Aries, it'll be to continue her training, kind of get her used to the blindness and less worried about people, but she already rides really well. Hopefully getting to share her with others too, so they can see how awesome these blind horses are. With Casper, it'll be to get his bad blind eye enucleated, and then also to continue his training. The hope will be to get him riding really well so other people can enjoy too. Highly recommend, especially blind horses. I hope everybody will give them a chance because I think they're awesome.
Black Beauty has been a horse of mysteries ever since he arrived. When we rescued him through the buyout program, I was like, wow, he's a gorgeous horse. And the closest thing I could see in him was like a Frisian cross. And our veterinarians and everyone, they're like, yes, he's got to be a Frisian cross. So we presented him to our fans as a Frisian cross, and it became evident that that was very controversial. And there was a lot of people saying that he's not Frisian and demanding like a DNA test. And one of our followers stepped forward to provide the cost of a DNA test. And so when it came back, we were very pleasantly surprised to find out that he did not have any Friesian in him, nor saddlebred, which was what the people are saying. It was he's just a saddlebred and he's not a fancy horse and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, despite all the craziness that went on of people demanding we do a DNA test and that we were lying about his breed, like it was just the closest thing that we could envision because he didn't look like a normal horse. So we sent off his DNA and the results finally came back, which just left us dumbfounded. I thought for sure that he was probably a Friesian saddlebred cross, because that made the most sense. But he didn't have any saddlebred, he didn't have any Friesian. In fact, he didn't have any local breeds that are based here in the United States, which just really blew me away. Now, with any DNA test, just like in humans, there can be some variations and whatnot, but I don't know. I'm not a DNA specialist. All I know is we sent it off and got some pretty amazing results back on this horse, which did confirm that he is very different than a lot of horses. If you look at his ears, and he has a kind of a different gait when he moves. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous horse. The breeds that his DNA say that he is from are Caspian, which is a very rare horse and not from the United States. So that was pretty amazing. And that was his first breed. And if you do a little research on Caspians, they're amazing horses and a very, very rare breed. The second breed would be Limpozoner. That is shocking too. Limpozoners are beautiful horses. And the third breed, which is just amazing, and none of these breeds we've ever had at our shelter before. The third breed is Aquatique, and that is another amazing, very rare breed. So the fact that his DNA came back with very, very rare breeds, none of them are connected to any breed that is common in the United States, is just fascinating. So it's really, really exciting that we got this report. Of course, the naysayers still aren't happy. Now they're saying we falsified the report and everything. It's just, we're moving on. He's a beautiful horse, and this is what his DNA results show. But we're just thankful we were able to rescue him from the buyout program. His DNA report came back with some very rare breeds. Since coming to our shelter, he has been gelded. He came in as a stallion. Even though he's got the rare genetic DNA is what his test results show, he's still a half-breed, so gelding him was definitely the right decision. We wouldn't want people just breeding more half-breed horses, and there's a lot of horses that end up in the slaughter pipeline, including him. So he's been gaining weight slowly. It's not as fast as we would like to see it, but considering he's only been with us for 2 months, and he had a gelding operation within that time, and he's a very energetic horse. So we're just working with our veterinarians and figuring out the best plan for him. But he needs some education. He doesn't have a whole lot of education, so like walking through gates is very confused. Sometimes just leading around the property, he gets confused. So he's gonna be with us getting some good education before we figure out next steps for him and what his future looks like. We're about to start our Christmas party. It's been an amazing year and it's so fun to come together and celebrate for Christmas. So we've got a whole bunch of fun games planned and awesome food, and we're gonna have an awesome evening together. While the food is warming, we have a very exciting game for you all. And it's woo-woo!
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We are making snowmen.
We're gonna have to figure out.
It's Christy from Bookkeeping and HR. And over hiding behind Corey,
Here.
it's Tawny, our CEO. She is becoming a snow person.
Yeah.
Tawny's got her little carrot nose. There you go. Little duct tape eyeballs.
Okay, yeah.
It's looking kind of interesting there.
Like this, right?
And over on this side, the finishing touches are going on Christy.
What? Do you want to? Okay, I'm gonna stick this in your mouth. Okay. Open.
Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So, we have come to a decision.
It was very hard.
It was hard. You guys are all amazing. You did an amazing job on all your snowmen.
Unfortunately, there can only be one winner this season. And, and the one snowman in particular, it's very nice, but it's almost like they built a snowman upside down. So if you think of a snowman, it's a big round ball, a medium-sized ball, and a little ball on top.
Yeah.
So the winner is the one with all the lights, sparkling away, outside team, and Tawny Bryant.
Unplugger.
So how'd you like being a snowman?
It was awesome. It has been an awesome Christmas party, and yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
What do you think, Corey?
I think it was a great Christmas party, and I'll see y'all next year.
I think it was awesome. We had a lot of fun, and it's great being with the team.
It was very enjoyable, and it looks like the team enjoyed every moment.